Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys may or may not know, but Twitch has literally been imploding as of these past weeks or so. But especially as of last night, there was a huge, essentially reaction to a 4-hour long basically Discord call with all the biggest streamers on all of Twitch. So basically Destiny himself had a chance to get leaked all the stuff from assumedly Trainwrecks. It could be wrong, but I think a lot of people are alluding towards that. And this has Asmongold, one of the biggest like WoW streamers slash general streamers, Trainwrecks, who's been in the heat a lot when it comes to gambling, XQC, the probably biggest Twitch streamer, Mizkif, who's been under a lot of fire and has been kind of like the big subject of this one, and as well there is also some folks like such as Mitch Jones. And the big topics on this were all in just everything that's been going wrong with Twitch, to the point where this is like basically Dramageddon, where there is just issues everywhere. Now, to kind of catch you guys all fully up to speed, because there's a lot more that kind of came and happened from that last night, essentially, there was a streamer, Slicker, who got caught gambling and then basically scammed a bunch of people. He spammed like $400,000 from a bunch of other streamers. And then after that, basically a lot of folks are using that to go and call for the end of gambling on the platform. So Mizkif, Pokimane, or like, let's get rid of gambling. It's not worth it. XQC and Trainwrecks are probably making $10 million combined per month on doing these gambling sponsors and streaming all that. Obviously, they don't like that. They don't want that banned. But then that kind of leads into a lot of back and forth, a lot of passive-aggressive comments. Mizkif made a comment to Trainwrecks about how there was a Jolt coin, and then basically Trainwrecks unleashed the beast and went into a huge thing how Crazy Slick, one of Mizkif's best friends, essentially did some very unspeakable things to a basically woman, Adriana, who was asleep at the time, and that kind of sparked everything that happened. Now, this is actually like the next part of this, where there is a Megathread. And I'm talking Megathread over here on Livestream Fails discussing this, because this was a 4-hour call, and Destiny, who is a streamer who is banned on Twitch, he's currently a YouTube guy, had a chance to see all this stuff, had people take comments. Mitch Jones streamed, and if you guys don't know any of this stuff, don't worry about it, but basically this is just the biggest drama known to man. And if you guys don't believe me, look at how many Reddit threads there are. And every one of these Reddit threads is literally like a clip in moment where people are discussing. This has 1,300 comments, and this is just going down the line where there's just like, some obviously are not as popular, but oh my good lord, it is crazy. You have Pokimane being called out, you have Hassan getting called out, and everything is nuts. So I'm going to give you guys the highlights, I guess, of all these things all floating around. So very first and foremost, as I mentioned, that's all the pre-context, and right now Mizkif is afraid of his friend getting completely canceled. But at the same time, he did pretty unspeakable things, and the big issue with Mizkif is the fact that he was trying to hide it. And him and Maya, also Mitch Jones, were trying to be like, hey, Adriana, it's not a big deal. Calm it down, make it chill. If you're gonna talk about it, it's not a big deal, all right? And then obviously she, because she's a smaller content creator, does not want to overstep boundaries. You have like, it's an awkward situation. It's like coworkers, you have literally like friends, parties, and all that type of stuff. And you don't want to, like, I can understand her perspective. It's like, I mean, obviously the first and foremost thing, you should probably get lawyers involved, but whatever. This is social media, what do you expect? But it will also make a lot of sense too, because like, you don't want to make the biggest content creators upset and mad, especially if it's involved their best friend. So basically then she made her comment post a lot more chill than she probably wanted to, and then they kind of like let this Maya girl and other folks allegedly kind of make her statement seem a lot less cool, like a lot less, in depth, just very toned down. But then the part two is that Slicker, that crazy slick guy, kept on harassing other women, messaging other women, and at the same time kept on trying to get other folks to not interact with that Adriana Lee girl. So basically, even though he got let off pretty good, he kept on kind of going and going and going. And that leads into Mizkif, for some odd reason, being really hardcore into not wanting him to get canceled, to remove tweets and all that. So let's get now into the drama that happened yesterday, now that you guys have this crazy context. So I'm just going to go through all these. We're going to highlight and maybe talk a little bit more on the in-depth sides. So basically, they have the Reddit post of Train and Asmongold calling out Pokimane, saying that she is one of the most corrupt figures on Twitch. And a lot of folks are giving her heat as well. Like, these are not my opinions, by the way. These are just everyone else saying. A lot of folks are saying that Pokimane and Hassan were self-inserting themselves in this drama. It was about a very serious allegation going on. They should not even be speaking. They were overstepping what was actually going on. And a lot of folks are kind of critiquing them pretty heavily. Then you also had Miz doing like an immediate reaction to, where basically he was just trying to protect his friend, cover up as much as he can. etc., etc. But Barry, who is one of just an OG streamer, was saying that Maya was actually gaslighting Adriana Lee the entire time and forcing her to downplay the situation. I don't think Maya's actually had a chance to go and do a lot of public speaking so far, but a lot of things that she did, allegedly, have been looking kind of bad. Barry confirms that Maya tried to manipulate this Adriana girl into not telling the story and downplaying the story, and that's why this comes up again. This also has Trainwrecks, who's basically yelling at Mizkif and being like, bro, you care more about your own reputation and your own friend over what actually happened in this whole situation. It's bad, like it's really bad, and we can't really kind of cover this up because it's going public and people are going to see it. Then Barry also puts the harsh allegations on Maya, then threatening Adriana too as well. Now, once again, a lot of the stuff is allegations. I'm just kind of reading through the comments over here. Miz said, when your best friend's being canceled, do you want to at? I'm sorry, you want to at. But a lot of folks are even saying like, bro, calm down. Like, it's like not your, like, bro, like let him, like it's your friend messed up. Let him take the L. He did awful things due to ruining your career for a random person who's not really that important for you. And then Mizkif tried to say he was like his best friend and try to make sure it's okay. Asmongold himself then also has his line of reasoning stating that, hey, it's not like good. Like, don't help your best friend because he's a scumbag. Kick him out. It's ruining your business because don't forget they have the OTK. Get rid of them. Like, get rid of him. Kick him out of your house. I know it sucks, but get rid of him. Then Mitch also, who wanted to climb on in, saying Adriana was actually a clout chaser and she's doing this all for attention. Well, then Mizkif sent them out over to make sure Slick would be okay too as well. Barry then said he was scared into downplaying it because she thought everyone in the state of Texas was going to hate her because she just had some big streamer come out and have her downplay, which would make a lot of sense. If you're a bigger streamer, you obviously have connections and people don't want to go and upset the biggest streamers. Pulling 30,000 views, it can be bad for your job, bad for your business, bad for your friends' jobs, sponsors, collaborations, friendships, and everything out there. And as well, Miz was basically begging Train to stop, as in like remove the tweet calling this out, remove everything else, like let's calm down, please. But a lot of folks are saying that Mizkif was just a really bad vibe, because obviously he wants that to not be out there because it's making him seem really bad, making business seem bad. XQC and Asmon insinuate a crime has been committed, so they're basically assuming all this stuff was really, really bad. Eleni said as well, this is like the new drama where Eleni was saying that Train was actually touchy towards her and Train calls her a liar, where Train's like, bro, Mizkif, why are you friends with her? It's basically like if your friend has drama, you don't want them to hang out with the friend who have drama 3 years later, especially when they're trying to go and threaten each other. Mizkif then started threatening to drop some nukes if Train kept on going on. He was basically kind of blackmailing Trainwrecks too. Asmon said he didn't want Eleni to join the Miz OTK's platform as well, just from bad like association prior stuff and them how they're kind of acting right now with drama. Train speaks about the fear of Eleni finding a new audience. So basically this is like you have a allegation, most people kind of don't care or ignore it, but you get a bunch more new followers. Maybe the new followers would care a lot more because they don't know about your past. Mizkif said, what about the whole extra, undies thing too as well? And she basically Train was like she knows what she was doing. Asmongold, being the voice of reason, says tell Miz and Slick to cut them out of their life, saying they're liabilities. And then this is with Mizkif now assumingly blackmailing Train with these validity allegations too if he continues to push the issue, which could be really legal. As well, this also led to Mizkif being really scared about all these different types of sponsorships. Where also then the next part too is that Adriana apparently was groping Seer, and that's why they were kind of maybe saying they didn't like this Adriana girl from going on. But Seer later on actually had a text saying that it was all okay, although they could have also just been at the time to try to make everything kind of cool. Mizkif also tried to save Slick even after hearing it's way worse than it was. This is after they were also listening to Adriana's stream and saying how bad this was. Barry said that Adriana was basically touched and kissed while being sleeping. And basically on top of that too as well, which is awful. And then on top of this too, it kind of shows that a lot of these folks are all over the place. Then also do have bigger things with Mitch Jones, because Mitch Jones actually ended up streaming and also confirming this stuff on over here, where even Mizkif himself is trending. And this is kind of a big enough thing to actually show.
IQ, bro.
Yeah.
But,
all right.
I mean, dude, like, someone asked the question in the chat, and I think, like, if you want to get your truth out, and I can't fucking lead you, bro.
Okay, so you just need to tell me, ask me the question, and I will answer it.
Okay, give the chat a yes or no a yes or no answer. Did Miz explicitly give direction to you and Maya and fucking whoever the fuck else was in that room to go to Adriana's house and to quote unquote downplay the situation or find a way to save Slick's ass? Yes or no?
The answer to that is yes.
And that's Mitch Jones, who was allegedly like sent out there to actually go and talk about this in the first place. Probably one of the biggest, more big pieces of news that came out with that one. So basically, a lot of the stuff is also coming into Train confirming that he had information to go and release the stuff, or had the permission to release this from Adriana Lee too as well. And on top of this too, there was big drama when it comes to Hassan, as I mentioned, time on in. Train says in a private call with Mitch that he almost deleted the tweet, but he didn't want to give Mizkif the leverage, so he basically wants to keep it up there too as well. He even goes and says, this is like kind of like the more bigger Mitch Jones. He says he's down for Mitch Jones Mitch Jones is down to let Mizkif just be done, which is crazy because people are calling off how he was literally in Mizkif's house and his pool a few hours after saying this because he thought this all in private. Mitch Jones goes off on Hassan right afterwards too as well, where he double downs and calls Mizkif a rat. Mitch says he has known Mizkif was a rat for a long time too as well, and Mitch Jones calls Mizkif a rat and calls Eleni some girl with some booba. Mitch Jones on Nick possibly relying on Miz. Mitch and Train then talking about how Hassan and Pokimane thing comes out too as well, and how they kind of just had inappropriate stuff. Leaked call with Train and Mitch cuts right off after vaguely implicating the Hassan and Pokimane thing too as well. Train to Mitch actually says you have a heart in a game where known as a heart. Mitch clarifies that Mizkif didn't attempt to influence him directly. Mitch says Maya actually acted on her own will, and also he happened to have this really kind of famous quote of saying, "You are Maya Higa, you are a woman," or something like that too as well. So basically, it was kind of funny as well in a bad way, where Mitch actually was hoping that Train wasn't recording, and well, he was, and it actually did end up getting leaked too as well. So you guys can kind of see there's a few other things too. It basically kind of shows that basically Mitch realized he got used into train wrecks, and Train why he didn't donate money to the Sanctuary that he initially wanted to as well, because he knew about a lot of his issues and stuff, and all this other things tied on in. So it's just crazy to see. So essentially the theory is Mitch Jones came out publicly and was literally hanging out in Mizkif's house and then called him a snake and a rat. Liabilities and Mizkif were kind of working together to kind of somewhat blackmail Trainwrecks. Trainwrecks is apparently maybe solving big issues from prior stuff a few years ago with Liabilities. Aswin Gold seems like the only smart one there. XQC just kind of was randomly just making comments on the side too as well. Pokimane and Hassan kind of self-insert themselves. They got a lot of drama from the community from that one. And at the end of the day, Adriana Lee doesn't even seem like the big forefront anymore. Same with Slick. It just kind of seems like it's kind of turned to drama get into as well. So there's a few other little things too, where basically Mitch Jones went live. A lot of folks are kind of curious on what's going on. Liabilities wanted to stay alone, and all these different types of things just kind of shows that the entire world is going crazy. But at the end of the day, it does not seem solved. No one's banned so far, and it's still drama all over the place. And Jesus Christ, I don't know. I'm so happy. I could not be able to do this on my day-to-day. So give me your thoughts and comments down below. This Megathread has been absolutely insane too, and it's kind of crazy how this entire 4-hour call was leaked. And it just seems like everyone hates each other. Everyone's just playing double-faced. And I still can't believe the fact that Mitch Jones literally was hanging out in Mizkif's house after calling him a snake in the call. What's going on, man? What's going on? Those are all my thoughts and comments down below. Subscribe if you guys want to, but what on earth is going on Twitch in this day and age? Good God.